Today I want to talk about the subconscious mind. Hey guys, welcome back to Tipharot, it's me Matt here, and today we're discussing the subconscious mind. Now, if you've been with the channel for a long time, you may have seen videos on this subject before. It is a common subject that comes up because I do believe in using the power of your subconscious. In fact, honestly for me, that is sort of the main goal of this channel. To teach you guys how to really use the full power of your minds, and the subconscious is perhaps the biggest part of that. So this is a really important video subject for this channel. Whether you're interested in lucid dreaming, whether you're interested in just improving your life, the subconscious mind is very important as it plays a role in all of that. Now, even though I have done videos specifically talking about what the subconscious mind is and why it's important and so on, those are old videos, and I know some of you guys do go back and watch the really old videos. But honestly, I don't want you guys to have to do that, especially because a lot of the older videos are just really low quality, I rambled, I didn't really get to the point and so on. So I wanted to remake some of those videos, and the subconscious mind is a subject that needs to be remade because it is so important to this channel. So what is the subconscious mind? Well, the subconscious mind is essentially all aspects of your mind and your nervous system that you aren't conscious of. You may consciously, for example, think aloud in your head, you may decide something, or whatever, you may reason with yourself, but your subconscious makes up everything that is beneath the surface. The reason that you believe certain things, the reason you feel a certain way, your deep-seated beliefs and emotions and so on, just the way that you feel about the world in general is all your subconscious. Your subconscious also controls all your bodily functions and so on. Everything that you're not consciously controlling is done by your subconscious. So the beating of your heart, the temperature of your body, all of those things are your subconscious. Now today I want to talk about how important it is to be able to actually influence the subconscious and to learn to work with it. So for one, you have the possibility to get information from the subconscious, and this is very valuable because, like I said, the subconscious controls everything about you that you aren't consciously controlling. From your beliefs to the fact that you're physically feeling sick right now, or that you have a stomach ache, or that your body temperature is off. All of that is controlled by your subconscious. So by being able to actually have a conversation with your subconscious, to be able to obtain some information from it, you can find out things about yourself that you simply didn't know. You can find out why you believe a certain thing, why you want a certain job, why you feel attracted to a certain person, or just why you're sick and why your body isn't behaving the way it should be. All of that information the subconscious actually has. So learning to actually get information from the subconscious, you can actually find that out. There are multiple ways you can do this. For example, you can ask your subconscious questions in a lucid dream. You can probe your subconscious with forms of divination. A lot of people don't know this, but all these fancy things like tarot and stuff like that are essentially just ways of interacting with your subconscious mind. For example, in tarot, you have all these cards with symbols on them. And if you actually pick up a card and you look at a certain symbol, your subconscious instantly reacts to it in a certain way based on what's going on in your brain at the time. So if you just had a nasty breakup and you look at a card that perhaps has like a love heart on it, you're going to have a certain reaction based on the fact that you're thinking about your nasty breakup. That is how these sorts of things work. When you react to that card in a certain way, you're going to come up with a certain answer based on what's going on in here. So really, all that card is there for is to serve as a symbol to draw something out of your subconscious, to draw a reaction out of your subconscious. It's like a conversation card for the subconscious. And there are other forms of divination like this that, on the surface may seem like super mystical and super weird and so on, but in reality, all you're doing is you're finding a tool that allows you to probe your subconscious and get a bit of information out. Sometimes your subconscious gives you information unintentionally. You might have what's called a Freudian slip, where you're actually saying something that you didn't mean to say, but deep down you possibly did mean to say. So you might be talking to someone about one thing and just the wrong word slips out, but the wrong word is actually what you're really thinking in your subconscious. That sort of thing can happen. Sometimes you can get information from your subconscious just by looking at how you feel rather than what you're thinking. There are many ways to get information from your subconscious. But there are also ways to put information into your subconscious, and doing that you can reprogram it, which can really affect your life in a lot of ways. One such way is through autosuggestion, using things like affirmations. By repeating something often enough, our subconscious constantly hears it. And the thing about the subconscious is it doesn't really process things the same way as the conscious mind does. When you actually experience something, the subconscious mind just takes it as if it was fact. So you can watch something in a movie and the subconscious can sometimes react that the same way as if it was in the real world. And this is why in dreams the world behaves so very weirdly, because the world behaves on all your subconscious beliefs, all the things your subconscious has seen and been taught. And your subconscious idea of the world is the way that your dreams work, a very weird representation of the world that is very malleable and very strange and odd. So by repeating something often enough, your subconscious simply believes it and takes it as fact, and you repeat it again and again and again, and it believes it more and more and more. And this can change things. So if you don't believe that you're a confident public speaker, just by repeating it over and over and over again, faking it essentially, you're eventually going to get to the point where you really subconsciously truly believe that, and as a result you're better at public speaking. Another thing that you can use is hypnosis. Hypnosis is very powerful because it uses the principle of autosuggestion, but it uses also another principle, and that is the principle of actually getting you into trance. So when you're in a trance state, your conscious mind kind of shuts off and doesn't block you from accessing your subconscious. This is an aspect of the conscious mind that a lot of people don't realise versus the subconscious, is that the conscious mind often acts like a kind of guardian at the gate for the subconscious. If you listen to a hypnosis track, for example, and you're consciously analysing it constantly and saying, oh, this isn't going to work, I don't know what this is doing and so on, then the hypnosis will have zero effect because you will completely block it from getting to your subconscious. This is why some people are simply non-reactors to hypnosis, because they are what are called analytical thinkers, who are very analytical about the process, and they can't shut off their conscious mind enough to actually experience the hypnosis. So the idea of hypnosis is that you go through these stages of going into trance further and further so that you shut off the analytical mind more and more. Now for some people this is more difficult than others and they just give up before they get to the point of being in trance. But assuming that you don't give up and you give it long enough and the person hypnotizing you knows what they're doing, you're eventually going to be in a trance where you're very relaxed. You're not out of control or anything like that. You're completely in control at all times. At any time you can just decide you don't want to do this anymore. But you're so relaxed that suggestions can just go right through because you don't analyze them, you don't think about them, and you don't try to stop them. They can just go right through to your subconscious and they can take hold much quicker than affirmations. Because with affirmations, you're just doing it consciously over and over again, repeating it, while not really in that sort of state, in the right state to accept those ideas. So you have to repeat it, hundreds or thousands of times before your brain starts to believe it. When you're in a trance, that's when you have direct access, and as we know, the subconscious just believes what you tell it. So you tell it once in a trance, and that can be enough sometimes. That's why people can have such dramatic changes after a single session of hypnotherapy. The next area is magic. Once again, I'm touching on something that's a bit esoteric and a bit odd, but magic is essentially a way of working with the subconscious. It might involve some weird ritualistic aspects, but these are all, once again, part of the getting into trance part. You see, getting into trance is getting you into the right state where you're very suggestible. And this can sometimes mean a bit of acting. Like I said, the subconscious takes whatever you tell it as quite literal. So if, for example, you put on robes and you conduct some strange ritual or do something like that, or you chant or you repeat some special words or whatever, then your subconscious reacts to it as if that is something special. You've dressed up special for the occasion, you wash yourself specially for the occasion, you put on some incense, you did some weird chanting or whatever. Your subconscious reacts to that as if that's something important, something special, and so it listens to the message behind that, whatever it is that you want to tell your subconscious, it listens to. It kind of gives it a shock that says, okay, whatever I'm doing now is important, and so whatever you actually attach to that ritual is going to go straight to the subconscious. So really it's just like hypnosis, it's just a kind of more elaborate way of doing it and more focused on doing it yourself, because you're conducting your own kind of hypnosis session. You don't need someone to guide you into trance, you're getting yourself into trance by embodying certain aspects of ritual. And that's something you'll hear a lot about on this channel. A lot of these things that seem weird and esoteric and just strange and unexplained actually have a rational explanation and actually work through the power of the subconscious. The next thing you can do to influence your subconscious is to change your environment. You see, you're constantly absorbing things from your environment into your subconscious just by your experiences. Every experience you have is telling your subconscious a certain thing about the world. If you learn new things, your subconscious changes its beliefs. But if you're constantly around people who are, for example, negative, then you're constantly going to be learning negative things from them, which is going to affect you subconsciously, and you're going to have a negative overall belief system. So surround yourself with the right people, with people who inspire you, people you look up to, and people who are helpful and kind. keep your room clean rather than having a messy room, because that will affect your subconscious. You know, be in a nice place where it's nice to live as much as you can possibly. Read lots of great books, listen to great videos on YouTube like this channel, hint hint, and just ensure that your environment is one that is helpful to you and that helps you grow. So that's been a little bit about the subconscious mind. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to subscribe up there for more, and also check out my Patreon page if you haven't already. You can find weekly updates there about what videos are coming out and so on. And if you do fancy supporting the channel, it means a lot. Thank you guys for watching. Take care.